Welcome to the NaNoWriMo Prep and Progress Guide overview. This is a quick tutorial because this is a very easy to use spreadsheet. There is no coding required, so you don't have to input any custom formulas or anything fancy to make use of the spreadsheet. Everything is ready to go. When you first access your guide, you will be prompted to make a copy of it to your account, and it's important that you do so because that allows you to actually edit and customize it to your project. So be sure to do that. When you first open it, you'll see this Start Here page that just has a basic overview of the sections that you can find in the dashboard and the tracker. So I recommend just kind of scrolling through that and get acquainted with your guide so that you can make ample use of it throughout November. Let's head to the story dashboard. This is where you're going to put your information about your project. It's very easy to use. You just type things into the fields, or you can select from the drop downs. You can also add more categories if you don't see something that reflects your project. But overall, I feel like this is a pretty good encapsulation of most people's NaNoWriMo projects, but you do have the option to edit it if you need to. And you can just select them from the drop down. And this is where you can put your synopsis. There's about 150 word limit to this, but you can also make it longer if you need to. I usually find that that's plenty to have just a general overview of my project to reference throughout the month. This is where you can link to your project. You can put anything that has a link here. So if you're using another tool like Noveler, for example, you can just copy and paste the link from that browser and copy it into this field right here. And if you're using Google Docs, you can actually use the @ symbol to specifically tag a document. And that makes it really easy to just quickly access your project directly from here. If you're like me and you like to use music as inspiration for your project, this is where you can link to your playlist. You might use Spotify, or sometimes you can use YouTube. Anything that has a URL you can put into this space for easy reference. And also you can relabel this if you have another link to something that's not a playlist. I want you to think of this as your hub, and whatever links you need to have easily accessible to you throughout the month is what you should use this space for. And this is where you can put some inspiration that's more on the visual side of things. So if you have a mood board, or if you have a specific image that inspires you, you can very easily insert it here. And to do so, you can just do insert, image. I usually use image over cell so that I can move things around a little bit and have some overlap, but you can also put it directly into one cell if you would like. That is the story dashboard. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I hope that you'll find that this is a helpful hub for the general details of your story. So let's look at the word count and motivation tracker. I started inputting some information here just to show you as an example. Basically, you just select here if you have worked on your story that day or not. If you want to think of it as working on your story rather than specifically writing your story, you are welcome to interpret that as you like. And this is where you can put how many words you wrote that day. I think it's nice to keep track of that because part of the goal of NaNoWriMo is to write 50,000 words. You can adjust that goal if that doesn't work for you, but I built this based off of that official NaNoWriMo goal. So as you're working on your book, you can put this information in here and this will update automatically. And also, if you do end up writing more than 50,000 words, this will update to words beyond the goal. So you can still keep track of how much more beyond 50,000 words you've written, which is really exciting. Then this here is to basically track your mood. It's an important part of understanding your own creative process, is how you feel every day as you embark on your story. And my hope with this is that it'll just give you a general overview of how you're feeling and if you need to adjust your process or your project at all. If you do find that you need to adjust things, that's what these resources down here are for. There are 8 guides here, all about different stages in the creative process, but they're basically designed to help you when you are feeling stuck. So I encourage you to take some time to look through each of them. This first one is a PDF that helps you set a project scope. I recommend doing this before you start your NaNoWriMo project if you are accessing this prior to the start of November, but you can actually visit this activity at any time. It's really helpful for helping you think through the timeline of your project and setting realistic goals that work with your life and your schedule. And the rest of these are Google Docs that you can access directly through here. And you just hover over them and select them, and it'll take you to a Google Doc. that has some helpful information for you and some activities that are optional to complete, but I recommend doing them because they are designed to help you make progress on your project. Our goal here at Storytelling Collective is to help people finish their projects because completing things is how we hone our craft and how we get better at what we do. And it's also really satisfying at the end of November to have something finished. Might not be a full book. It's not going to be the most perfect or amazing book ever written, but you'll have something really great that you can continue to build upon by the end of the month. So I hope that helps give you an overview of how to make use of this guide. If you have any questions, you can email us at hello@storytellingcollective.com, and I can't wait to see how you make use of it. Enjoy!